This is Super Yacht News with Sisman.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another kind of crazy news day in the super yacht world. So it's the 7th of March, we'll just get straight into it. In yesterday's video I talked about a boat being seized in Imperia in Italy, a boat called Lady M, and I mentioned that the owner of it is a man called Alexey Mordashov, and his net worth is $29 billion. And I said that the boat, Lady M, is a 65 meter boat. It seems like a small boat for a man with so much money to have, right? Well, he also owns another boat, which I mentioned in the video, and that boat is called Motor Yacht Nord. Now, as you can see from the footage here, this is a massive boat, 141 meters or 464 feet long. So it makes it one of the largest boats in the world. It was built by Lurssen, and it was delivered just last year in 2021. So Alexey Mordashov is on the Russian sanctions list, and that's why his boat was seized, obviously, in Imperia yesterday. So his other boat is currently in East Africa, in the Seychelles Islands. So he's outside of any sanctions. But sources tell me that all is not well on board. Some of the crew have been let go, and initially it was believed that this was because of the sanctions putting a squeeze on the money. But I wonder if it's because the boat is about to go somewhere, and he doesn't want the European crew members to know where that is. So people are being let go. Maybe they're bringing in people from Russia to be on board. The vessel is reported to be heading to a safe harbour with some other boats fleeing sanctions. So more on that a little bit later. So I mentioned in a previous video about a boat called Galactica Supernova. It left Montenegro after refueling and then disappeared in terms of AIS anyway. So we don't actually know where that vessel is right now. So another boat that has disappeared is the 99 meter or 234 foot super yacht Madame Goo. Now she's famed for having a bright blue hull, and she also famous for the new colour that Porsche put on their cars. Is called Shark Blue, and the story is that the guy who runs the GT department, Andreas Preuninger, saw a super yacht whilst on holiday, and he said he loved the colour of the hull, and that's where the colour comes from for the new car. Well, that's Madame Goo. The vessel was seen leaving Dubai yesterday, 6th of March, and before she'd even finished getting out of the manoeuvring area, the AIS was turned off and she disappeared. On the 28th of February, Switzerland, who's traditionally stays neutral in this and is frequently used as a haven for offshore wealth, announced it would freeze the assets on all individuals sanctioned by the EU, and this includes the owner of Madame Goo, Andre Scotch. And the Swiss freezing assets may be the reason why a lot of these super yacht owners are struggling to pay their crew salaries. Now you can see the trend of this video is about disappearing super yachts. It's all the rage these days. So Motor Yacht Amadea is the next boat we're going to talk about. So Amadea, it was built in Rensburg in Germany, and it was delivered in 2017. Now, almost from delivery, this vessel was up for sale. Not that many people in the world that can buy a 106 meter or 348 foot yacht. The vessel was for sale for a long time. Before it was sold, quite a few years, but it was advertised in multiple places. Seemed to be quite urgent to get this vessel sold. One of the things that I noticed is from above. I took this drone footage in the south of France, and from above it kind of looks like a Imperial starship from Star Wars, right? Well, the funny thing is about this is that the company that owns, the management company that looks after this vessel, is called Imperial Yachts, and they, in their own words, they refer to this yacht as part of their imperial fleet, which I thought was quite funny. The vessel's ownership is steeped in mystery, as is the vessel itself, as it's managed by, as I said, Imperial Yachts. The name of the guy who runs it, I cannot even begin to try and pronounce it, so I'll put it on the screen. But they operate in ultra secrecy. as far as I know, it's the only management company in the yachting industry that requires a non-disclosure agreement to be signed by potential crew before they have an interview. So Amadea, as I said, it was for sale pretty much straight away. She was originally owned by Igor Sechin, who is in the recent EU sanctions list, and he's also reportedly the owner of Amore, which was seized in La Ciotat in the south of France, a shipyard in the south of France a few days ago. Now the ownership of that vessel has been challenged by the management company. They're saying that he doesn't own it anymore and that it was sold a few years ago, but it's still currently arrested in La Ciotat. The current owner of Motor Yacht Amadea is Suleiman Karimov. He's a Russian billionaire, and he's also on US and EU sanctions lists. His vessel, Amadea, disappeared, at least from an AIS point of view, on the 24th of February 2022, the day of the invasion of Ukraine. So earlier I mentioned that Nord was heading to a secret location. Well, from what I understand, Motor Yacht Amadea is planning to head to that same location, and it's reportedly in Russia. So we've got Madame Gu leaves Dubai yesterday. Almost immediately the AIS stops transmitting. We've got Motor Yacht Galactica Supernova leaves Montenegro a few days ago after refueling. AIS stops transmitting. Motor Yacht Amadea, no AIS for 11 days. AIS stops transmitting the day of the invasion of Ukraine. Quantum Blue leaves Monaco after being temporarily detained, heads south out of Europe, most likely going to Port Said to go through Suez Canal. Aurora being hastily prepared to leave Barcelona ahead of possible sanctions. Well, listen guys, if you are on any of these boats, or if you've got any information that you think that I would like, please get in touch. Send it to me through the normal way. You can send it to me directly through YouTube. Go to the About page and there's a link there, or you can send it to me through Instagram as well. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe and like this video. Helps us get it spread out there, and I'll catch up with you probably tomorrow. All right guys, bye bye.